Hi everybody, welcome to No Story Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it and we're inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Alex, and guys, I don't think I belong here.
I'm Kat, and Nietzsche's good and evil said... No, I'm not that good.
Oh, was that your
thing?
That was my fucking thing, you guys. I was trying to pretend to be cheaty.
We thought that you were doing something
So you dived on the joke.
Yep.
That was the fuck you.
Anti-joke.
Yes, it's not funny, and that's how you can tell it's funny. In my next essay.
Classic cheaty. Okay. I'm Brendan, and oh, fork, I forgot to write a joke.
Holy forking shirt balls.
Oh man, I was gonna make a dumb swearing joke.
Ha!
I'm Pippin.
Done.
Bing.
What subtitles? Laughs wickedly.
Oh wait, no, I need a good Janet joke.
Pippin?
Yes.
Oh, what happened when Janet was rebooted?
Oh! Attention! I have been murdered!
That strikes me as something that you would fucking do. Like, we get, Pippin's dead somewhere, or like, Pippin's missing, we're not sure what's going on. We get out a Ouija board because of who we are as people. And then Pippin, because of who she is as a person, just spells out attention, I have been murdered. And we're like, yeah, that's her. Damn it.
No, I spell out a fucking URL. It goes to a sound file.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
That also is very you. Note to self.
Bitly link.
If you could have it just appear in the sky, you would.
Pip.
Yes.
Pip, would the link be a full link or would it be a tiny URL?
Tiny URL, Bitly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Death.me.
Death.me. Pippin. But wait, would you have like a DOI number, and then the DOI number leads to like the seventh seal, like, and then...
No, the DOI is only if someone writes an academic article about how amazing my death announcement is.
Holy crap, says Obituary Weekly.
Citation. I saw it in a dream.
Oh god.
Anyway.
Anyways.
That was nerdish.
Keep going.
Good job, guys.
Today, we're talking about the 2016 television show, The Good Place. So spoilers abound.
Super spoilers. Like, if you have not seen the first season of The Good Place all the way to the end...
Just turn around.
We're really serious. Turn this the fuck off.
Yeah.
You have been warned.
Just turn around.
For reals.
Really.
Normally we don't actually care that much.
Turn this podcast off. Cancel from your subscription. No, wait, don't do that. Don't do that. No, oh, God.
Turn the cast around.
There's gonna be some spoilers.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
If you want specific content warnings, like, say, spoilers, about things we may talk about, check out the show notes on nostorysacred.com. And guys, can we just say that clam chowder should be like a content warning? Cause.
Oh, the way they do it, yeah.
Right. For those of you who've never seen The Good Place...
Please stop again, and then...
Pause the episode for what, like 6 hours?
Yeah, that's all you
and
need.
come right back.
Yeah.
13 episodes, half hour each.
Yeah. So
You can do it. I have confidence in you.
I believe in you. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
When Eleanor Shellstrop finds herself in the afterlife, she's both relieved and surprised that she made it into the good place. But it doesn't take long for Eleanor to realize that she's there by mistake. She hides in plain sight from the good place architect, Michael, and his all-knowing assistant, Janet. Her seemingly perfect neighbors, Tahani and Gianu, and open-hearted soulmate, Chidi, help her realize that it's never too late to change. With the help of her new friends, and few enemies, Eleanor becomes determined to shed her old way of life in hopes of discovering a new one in the afterlife.
Now for real, if you haven't watched the last episode, this is your last chance. We mean it.
We really fucking mean it.
Because you guys.
Holy fucking holy
balls.
Forking.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys, we can't go to the bad place. Because we're already here. This is the bad place.
Oh my god.
But let's rewind before that big reveal.
Listen, I need to get it out in the open now.
That's fair.
So that all the people who didn't turn around when we told them to.
We gave them many fucking chances.
We did.
Yeah.
Forking chances.
Yeah.
Listen,
oh my god.
I cannot.
Wait, can we have a challenge? For this whole episode. For this whole episode, can we just use...
I've already lost.
I've already lost, but we're starting from this point on. Can we...
No fork and swears?
No fork and swears. We only use good place censorship.
I'm gonna lose so bad.
What's the B word again?
Bench.
Bench, okay.
Son of a bench. Okay, cool. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I almost broke it just there.
First one to lose has...
Goes to the bad place.
Oh god.
I'm
Wow,
already
grim.
in a bad place. Yeah.
Owes the other one's Grubhub.
Whoa, no.
Whoa.
That's
Not
a
doing
lot.
those stakes.
Yeah, no.
I thought we were just gonna be mocked.
I mean,
Yeah.
possibly. Alright, fine. Weak.
Also, is that something you want to bet when you're just as likely as me to be the first one to
I'm
go?
absolutely going to be the first one. So I'm happy that you guys aren't taking me up on my bet.
All of us, Grubhub.
I didn't say it was going to be a lot of Grubhub. Get you fucking like coffee or something.
You just lost. Yes!
Mother forking shirt ball.
Oh my god. And with that fun side.
So, like, there's a lot that happens
There's so much.
in this first season of The Good Place, because I kind of want to talk about, like, some of the setup before that big reveal happens.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, you have Eleanor here, played by Kristen Bell, who is amazing at this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we get ample opportunities throughout the season to just establish two things. A, living Eleanor was a not good person.
Total
Like,
bench.
the worst.
No. Yeah. Jeez.
Partly a product of her upbringing, and that is sad. But, yeah.
But she also made a lot of choices.
She
Yes.
In fact, one could argue that that is actually the point.
Yes. But over the course of the season, thanks to the good influences of the other people here in The Good Place, she starts, becoming selfless and all that instead of just living this completely emotionally isolated life.
Well,
I'd say so.
Well,
I mean, that's making a big assumption that the other people who are around her are also, are people who are in the correct place. They are, in fact, good people. Well, but they're not according to the rules.
Well,
I mean, so I would argue instead that her impetus for change was selfishly motivated, which is something that is discussed in the show. I mean, so is that really turning to the good? I would say it's more of circumstances allowing her to develop into the person that she could have been.
yeah.
And also falling mad in love with her true love.
It's still all about the people that you're with.
Yeah. People can become greater than the sum of their parts.
yeah. It's very much taking influence from that. Was it a short story and then a episode of the Twilight Zone, or was it like a
Which one? Where?
Hell's Other People one?
Well, Hell is Other People, I believe, is a quote from something else.
I feel like it's Dante.
I think it got made into into like, if not a movie, then a like an episode in an anthology.
I think it's also a Ted Chiang story.
Possibly.
Hell
that
is
too.
Other People is also a 2019 South Korean television series.
Huh.
Yeah, it's taking the opposite of that.
Well, that's the thing. That was Michael, the architect's goal, was to have these characters essentially torture each other as the bad place punishment. That was his theory. And turns out that these people, yeah, they got on each other's nerves and tortured each other, but through that interaction became better people.
Well, it's also an interesting argument, the idea that, oh, hell is other people. Well, humans, yes, we have free will. Yes, we're all composed of good and bad parts, but for the most part, we generally try not to be assholes to one another.
Generally.
We're social pack animals.
We are social pack animals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, full disclosure, I've only watched through the end of this season.
I was about to fucking yell at you if you just said, I've never seen the last episode. I did it again!
Wow.
Brendan,
You're
would you like to tell Kat?
great at this.
Would you like to confess something to the rest of the group?
Oh, yeah. So when we decided to watch this, or discuss this, I actually hadn't watched the season finale because I didn't realize that because I was binging at the time and had gone through halfway through the season and then got distracted.
I mean, to be fair, so what happened? Tell us what happened to you.
I watched the rest and it was good.
Okay. That's less fun than my story. So Alex and I, we were looking for something new to watch. There was nothing else on at the time. I don't think we had even heard any buzz about it. We just saw that it was new on Netflix. And it had What's-Her-Head on it.
And
Kristen Bell.
We're like, we like Kristen Bell.
Yeah, and the concept sounded like, oh, okay, we'll try it out because, occasionally Catholic on Maine. So we started watching it, and I don't know about Alex, but at least from my point of view, I was sort of, it was sort of a background thing. I enjoyed, there were a lot of discussions about philosophy. That was very entertaining. It had sort of, a very straightforward, I thought, story, kind of cute.
Hijinks ensued.
Every episode had a different philosophy that they were discussing. It was in its way very simplistic. And then we got to the final episode of season 1, where we get that reveal from Eleanor. Eleanor, it's brought it up to this fever pitch of, do we stay? Do we go? Heaven, hell, or I'm sorry, extra parts of hell. Who do we have to sacrifice? Various people arguing. And it is a nice little fever pitch. And then suddenly Eleanor turns around and says, this is the bad place. And it was such a fucking revelation.
Forking revelation.
Oh, God.
And when
it was such a forking revelation.
And when Ted Danson,
who can still get it,
yeah, just when he goes from that blank face to not blank face, his pleasant what?
Affable.
Yeah,
affable face to that grin and subtitles, laughs wickedly.
It was just oh my God. I think we actually ended up going and re-watching the season again.
Yeah, I think because this changes everything.
It changes everything. Suddenly a bunch of things make sense. And it's just, and it was such a huge reveal, and it was so beautifully hidden.
Yeah.
But at the same time being completely logical.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to mention that there exists a video
of
the actors who play Tahani, Jason, and Chidi. I forget if the actress playing Janet was involved in that one.
Janet, I think, was, because I think only Ted Danson and
Kristen Bell. They were the only ones who knew.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if she was in the video. But a video of Kristen Bell telling them just before they get the episode that they've been in a bad place the whole time because they didn't know either.
Yeah, they didn't tell the actors, and so just watching them just be like, "What?" And they all have these beautiful different reactions. It's like watching the breadth of human experience.
And usually I don't approve of lying to the actors to try to get them to act better because, they're professionals. Let them just act. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But on the other hand, getting to see that on film, great.
But it's such an amazing moment. I I remember when the rest of the internet started catching up. Because I think, weirdly, not a lot of people caught it when it was playing live. Does that make sense? Live? On air? Yeah. But the ability to binge it when it came out over the summer, suddenly everyone was sort of on it, and everyone was like, oh my god. And you couldn't even say that there was a reveal or that there was a twist, because even doing that would...
reveals it.
Basically,
exactly.
Yeah. Basically, everyone started texting your friends, you have to watch The Good Place.
Yeah, that's literally all people would say.
We started bugging Pip, you have to watch The Good Place.
Mm-hmm. Like, no, Pip, you have to.
I can't remember if I somehow got spoiled for the ending, or if it was a complete shock, or if I knew that something was up. Like, at this point, it's been so long, I can't remember my exact reaction. I think I knew something was up.
Like, well, possibly because Alex and I were both like, no, really.
Yeah, that would have been a big clue.
But, but I'm like, I remember where I was sitting. Like, I remember the moment it happened.
Yeah. Can you remember the shirt you were wearing?
I can't remember the shirt I'm wearing now.
Okay, without looking at your shirt, what color is it?
Spoiler, it's a dress. I'm not even wearing a shirt.
And you'll bet Sky Masterson $1,000 if you can correctly guess the color of your tie.
Polka dots.
Polka dots.
So back to the story.
Only Nathan. So when Eleanor first goes to the bad place, to the good place, in quotes, she's told that this is the perfect good place. She deserves to be here because she's done all these amazing good things in her life. She was a lawyer. She did activism. She traveled the world. She's so cool. Look at these memories, from her point of view.
So first person, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, here's your roommate. By roommate, I mean soulmate. Huh. His name's Chidi.
Because in the good place, everyone has a soulmate.
Their perfect soulmate. The one meant for them. And, Michael leaves her and Chidi alone. And, Chidi's super excited because who doesn't want a soulmate in the perfect paradise? And Eleanor's all like, hey.
You're definitely...
By the way.
You're cool, right? You'd do anything for me.
Because of the soulmate thing, right?
Right.
And, she tells him that she's not supposed to be here. Those aren't her memories. She's not that person. And then Chidi, as a professor of moral ethics and philosophy, whatever, does not like any of this. Proceeds to have a stomachache for the entire rest of the season.
But, that's the thing. We see that for the first time watching the series, and then if you go back and recontextualize everything, you kind of come to a realization, why Chidi would be super excited to have a soulmate just assigned to him.
True.
Because his character flaw is that he is indecisive to the point where it actively hurt other people.
And that's why he's in the bad place.
Yep.
And because he kept using almond milk.
He knew it was bad.
Yeah, he knew the impact it would have on the environment, and he did it anyway.
Yep.
Of course. And of course, John Yu is actually Jason Mendoza, and he's from Florida, which is an automatic,
he is Florida man.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And Tahani in life was a wealthy socialite, philanthropist, but she only ever did this, donated money and did her social work to better her own image and to try to one-up her sister. So it was always, no matter what good she did, it was for selfish reasons.
Wait, so I'm kind of wondering how that balances out. Is the good deed a 1 and it's a bad, and the bad intention, and it's a -2?
Well, as you recall, but the listening audience may not, although of course they have because they've watched the episodes by now.
There's a plot point.
Yeah, according to the mechanics of the Good Place as described in the show.
By Michael.
Every action is assigned a point value. And it's not necessarily a 1-to-1, but your point value is totaled up over the course of your life, and that is what determines where you go. So for instance, we find a character that ends up in a neutral place because she had
the middle place.
Yeah, because she had been a horrible fucking forking person through most of her life. And then at the very last second, she like donated her entire life savings to feeding the poor or something like that because she was high on a cocaine bender. And
well, they made a point that she actually followed through with it the next morning.
And then she like immediately died. So the point values, apparently ended up pretty much zeroed out. So she is in a perfectly neutral location. Neither really great or really bad. And she's by herself.
I want to point out a couple of sample point values given. If you remember your sister's birthday, plus 15.02 points. Using Facebook as a verb, minus 5.55. Root for the New York Yankees, minus 99.15. Ooh, tell a woman to smile, minus 53.83. Purify water source, village, population of greater 250, only 295.98 points. You'd think that'd be more.
You'd think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Poorly weighted.
Something that gets into later.
Never discuss veganism unprompted. Plus 9,875.37 points. Just gonna close that right now.
Okay, yeah, close that out.
It's not my point that the jokes in The Good Place are also amazing. One of the smaller tortures that The Good Place has is all the froyo places.
Can I talk a little bit about what I thought was the genius of this show?
Okay.
So, one of the things that I've read about a lot in terms of screenwriting and whatnot is the impossibility, if not the danger, of trying to write or describe a heaven. It either comes off really weird or inaccurate or kind of smarmy. And I was worried that that's what this show was going to be. And what I noticed while we were watching it was that it's like, okay, yeah, this is cute, but this isn't, like how I would picture heaven. And the way they got around that was by saying that actually this little neighborhood that Eleanor pops up in is actually one of many, many, many neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And this is the neighborhood that Eleanor would consider heaven, filled with froyo shops. And she lives in a house with clowns in it.
Keep in mind, an Eleanor who doesn't think she belongs there.
Yes.
So this is Eleanor's version of other people's heaven.
Exactly. And also it's a place where you can't swear. Other communities you can. It is implied.
Also, this is the heaven, and that's one, false, and two, made by, while you're initially watching, oh, no, it's made by Michael, and and in the series, we think that he's just a dope, and then...
That's not really my point. My point is, when you're watching it, you recognize this is not your heaven. You have it, you, the watcher, the audience, would probably have a different kind of heaven.
Can I make a confession?
What? Okay, what's your confession?
My heaven would probably still have a froyo place.
Wow.
Wow, Pip.
But it wouldn't have the clam chowder fountain.
But the point is, they got around that's not anybody's idea of heaven, or that's not my idea of heaven, so it can't really be heaven. They got around that particular suspicion in the audience mind by already answering the question as part of the world building. So, you were able to go into it being like, okay, heaven. This is what this is. It's not mine, but we already know that there are several different kinds. So you didn't think to yourself, this definitely, who the fuck would want to do a froyo place except for Pippin, apparently.
Come at me.
So clearly there must be something up. This can't really be heaven. The whole reveal depends on the audience buying into it. And that...
Although some don't need that as much as others. For instance, I don't really particularly buy into all that, so it's, for me, it's just this is just a cute place.
Fair.
Well, as I was saying, I was viewing it as, Michael is a dope, Michael is fallible. This is the good place. That's why it makes sense as not heaven.
That's true. They do They do additionally couch that this is his first neighborhood that he's ever made. Which, strangely, not a lie.
True. Also, I didn't rewatch the whole season for this. I rewatched the first episode and the last episode. And I need to rewatch the whole season to see if how often Michael actually straight out lies, as opposed to misrepresent the truth. But also, in the fiction that Michael has created, his neighborhood is falling apart, and destroying itself because there is someone who isn't meant to be there. Thus torturing Eleanor some more because she knows it's her.
And then and from there, torturing Chidi because she tells Chidi.
So he knows that she's not supposed to be there, and so he's now complicit in this whole thing. And ethically, what is he supposed to do here? Eleanor argues that ethically, you help me. And there are some ethical arguments where we're like, yeah, that is what you do. Yeah. And one of my favorite things about The Good Place is one of its basic arguments, among the many things that it's doing, is one of its very basic things is the question of what do we owe to each other?
Aww.
There's an episode in this first season titled that. I think it's tied in with Chidi. And at the end of the episode, Michael is going to wipe the Four's memories and he's going to try again. Because whatever, he can do what he wants. And Eleanor is trying to figure out how to help for next time. Because she knows now what she knows. How can she stop this? So she rips a first page out of a book, writes, Eleanor, find Chidi, feeds it to Janet, because Janet doesn't eat, so, isn't going to eat that scrap of paper. But
she is not alive, Pippin.
She is not alive. She's not a robot. She is not a girl. So Janet can give it to Eleanor when her memories are wiped. And the piece of paper she's torn is the title page of a book, and it says what we owe to each other.
Oh.
Because what it is the four of them have grown and changed because of their relationships with each other, and also, frankly, with Michael. Because, he's a part of this too. And his actions affect change.
Yeah, so as somebody who hasn't watched the following seasons, because again, I only just recently watched it, bad me, whatever, I think when we described the flowchart of them torturing each other, it was all a one directional thing, like, oh, Eleanor tortures Chidi, tortures Jahani, tortures Jason, and then Jason tortures Eleanor. I think one of the things I don't really count for is just that arrow going the other way, and that's helping the other person. And then, I think also just the presence of Michael is a catalyst in a weird direction he probably didn't anticipate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bidirectional flow. Ha!
Because Michael, as an agent of the bad place, can't possibly know the possible good that he could have.
Nope.
So tell me straight, does Adam Scott show up in the later seasons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I just love Adam Scott.
Adam Scott has way too much fun playing dickbags. Yes. Which is awful, because I first ran into him as my perfect darling boy.
Wow.
Fight me. Ben Wyatt. And sure, he was an ice clown that one time.
His ice town lost to his town crown.
Pippin, how could you possibly support this child who ruined an entire town's budget?
He grew and changed. And now he does spreadsheets. Which is really what I look for in a partner.
Bow chicka.
Joke about spreadsheets here. But yeah, no, Adam Scott does come back.
Good.
You should watch the rest of the series, FYI. I
should. It's just,
Well,
I'm making my way.
We learn more philosophy, which is even great, which I love.
Yeah.
I need you to understand what I mean when I say that we can just hang out in the dot above the eye.
Oh my god.
And two, I need to watch the video of a drunk Kristen Bell talking about what she's learned from the show.
Oh my god.
I've seen, the screen cap. I need to actually find the video.
Also, I imagine you know about the trolley problem, correct?
Yes.
The trolley problem is a ethical...
It's a classic moral dilemma question where you have control of a switch on a trolley track. And you're able to control the trolley. And there's a person tied on the tracks, right?
It switches. There's a switch up ahead.
Yeah.
And there's a person tied to one set of tracks, but on the other set of tracks is 5 school children or something.
Yeah. And the thing is, you have to make a choice, otherwise everybody on the trolley dies, which is like more people die.
So, is it worthwhile to kill the 1 to save the 5? Do you do nothing? Like, it's a whole thing. Anyway, Brendan, you may enjoy the fact that there is, in the next season, an entire episode devoted to not just the trolley problem, but its ancillary corollary issues.
Corollary, yeah.
So, for instance, a slightly more grim one, in its own weird way, is the would you kill 1 person to harvest their organs to save 10 people? And then, well, okay, so you make that decision. Are you willing to make that decision in front of that 1 person's entire family? And so on.
Nice.
There's like the whole episode's devoted. I actually really appreciate that about this show as well. You know, in many ways, it's a really great educational tool for just, 1 episode at a time talking through ethical philosophy.
Again, let Kristen Bell drunkenly explain to you what she learned.
It's almost as if they had a philosopher as a consultant.
It definitely reads like that.
Oh, they did.
And before we go into I think we're starting to get into story change territory here. But one thing I do appreciate about this show is that they had an end goal in mind.
Yes.
Like, they did not want to go beyond, 4 seasons? And they would not continue on.
Well, and every season is an escalation, is a change. I mean, it's great.
Nice.
I think the execs were like, yeah, you guys can do as much as you want. And they're like, no, we have this in mind.
Yeah.
Take it.
Take it
Which,
or
hey, commendable. There's numerous properties out there where I wish they had just stopped while they were ahead. Death Note.
I mean, How I Met Your Mother, just to bring that back.
I would like to, before we get started on like sort of the next phase of our discussion, I'd just like to remind everybody on in the room, as it were, that while frequently we talk about story changes, in the case of stories that are actually really good, we can also talk about what we have learned and what we would steal.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
The good old classic out. Ha. Some stories are sacred.
Listen, I don't make the rules,
All right.
except I do.
All right. So, let's talk story. What would we change? I can ease us in a little bit if you want.
Do it.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I do appreciate in this story that they didn't really strictly, they did not adhere to any particular religion or anything like that. It's very non-denominational in a weird way.
Yeah, they don't really even say heaven or hell significantly.
They do say hell.
Yeah, I mean...
The characters do.
Yeah.
I don't think any character in a position of power actually does. Now, granted, it does have like a little bit of a Christian flair to it. So one of the things I'd probably push a little more is just emphasizing like other aspects of maybe like other religious, other religions, afterlives. Like we could talk about Chinese religion, for instance. The afterlife there is, a different flavor than, say, the West.
Well, of the
That's
many
one thing.
religions available in China.
Yeah. Yes.
There have many different things.
I imagine...
the world is big.
I imagine that their good places would look more like what they would think that heaven or their equivalent would be for them.
Perhaps, yeah, their neighborhood. Yes, as Kat put it.
Indeed. Although we do not strictly know what the real good place in its totality looks like.
I was thinking about that, but Janet is a good place Janet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh,
none of
Janet.
this is strange to her.
Yeah, she would know. She'd make a comment or maybe just thinks it's a really weird neighborhood. One thing that did kinda irritate me a little bit was that Jason Mendoza, aka Jianyu, I thought he was written just a hair too dumb, at least in season 1.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I've heard a lot of actually really positive feedback about how he is not a model minority, and people really enjoying that.
Well, the reason why it's a little bit weird for me is that, he's almost dumb to the point where, like, I don't really think he'd be doing, like, evil out of really necessarily evil motivations. It's just like he literally doesn't know any better. So this kind of brings up that moral quandary of if somebody doesn't know any better, are they actually committing evil acts?
Oh, you would be very fascinated again by the next seasons.
Fair enough. So they're already addressing it in later seasons. Good
I mean, it's one of the really fantastic things, etc. and so forth. Not going to talk about it more because this episode is about season 1.
Fair enough. But yeah, so that was just one of the things that kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, but it's good to know that maybe in later seasons, they actually do address that.
Mm-hmm. And we also find out how everybody died, and, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do we not find that out this season?
Nope.
Oh, whoops.
I don't.
We find out about Gianni, we find out about Jason Mendoza, and we find out about Eleanor. I don't know if we find out how John Yu dies.
I thought that we didn't actually find out how people died.
Well, Brian, you've only seen the first season. How did they die?
Jason suffocated in a safe.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't put air holes in it. And Chidi got hit by an air conditioner. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Eleanor got hit by, shopping carts.
Okay, so it was Tahani that you didn't find out. Because I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't recall Tahani.
Poor Tahani.
Aw. I'm going to be sad later, aren't I?
Maybe.
And then, of course, we also find out about what's her name in the middle place, but I don't know if she's actually real now. Frickin' final episode.
Such a good question. Guess you'll just have to watch more. Ha! Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, so those are a couple of things, just a bit more afterlife diversity. And just Jason being a little less completely dumb, because it makes a really weird moral case for me, and it doesn't make me feel good.
I understand.
When somebody's that dumb.
I found the name.
That dumb and being tortured forever. So anyway, that's me.
All right.
Cool.
Pip, you go.
I'm gonna take Kat's thing of what we learned. And I learned that it's possible to have a reveal so good that people won't talk about it. Because usually, either I don't care and accidentally spoil things, or I read spoilers, or people are really bad about spoilers. Mm-hmm. I've read headlines where spoiler thing happened, and actually put spoiler in brackets, and then their cover image is the spoiler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm you guys, you failed at the first hurdle. But all in this weird spoiler culture, which has gotten to the extreme, because actually, you guys, spoilers aren't that bad. Mm-hmm. If your story falls apart and is meaningless, if people know the spoiler, do better.
It's true.
It shouldn't just... If your story doesn't have emotional weight without it, you failed. But at the same time, having that twist, that moment that no one will talk about if they know you haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. Just have something everyone agrees, you need to see this yourself.
It's such a beautifully crafted moment. And not just a moment, it's a beautiful crafted season leading up to hours worth of time leading up, crafted perfectly to that reveal.
I was rewatching the episode and knowing what was going to happen. I still felt stressed out in the lead up to it. Because in the lead up, everyone's yelling and arguing with each other. Watching again, I could, more recognize, the more not contrived, but when fake Eleanor comes in to, try to say, no, I'll go to the bad place and sacrifice yourself, I was more readily able to go, Michael's pet tricks. But even knowing all that, it kept ramping up, and then the release.
Oh yeah, the release.
When Eleanor goes, this is the bad place.
It's also perfectly played as well, great line readings, the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They can't take us to the bad place. Because we're already here. And just look on everyone's faces. And just that you can have that build up that everyone is on board with.
Well, it says something about the lead up to it all with, again, this entire season's worth of content, where it doesn't feel like a rug pull or anything like that. It's just, you kind of go oh, she's having an epiphany and now all of us are too.
It's like putting on glasses and suddenly everything's clear.
Well, it reminds me of something that Mom once said about this kind of writing, which is, or about endings, which is that it should be the best birthday present, a surprise, and yet exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what this was.
Yeah, because it wasn't something you're it wasn't like that. You're oh shit! Sure.
It wasn't like the last season of Game of Thrones where it's like, let's subvert expectations.
See, here's the thing.
With no buildup.
And they technically did subvert expectations in this. In fact, it was a complete 180, and yet it is at the same time perfect. And it makes everything make sense.
It's clearly what was always leading up to it, and they actually worked toward it. They laid everything out. And weirdly, I want to kind of compare it to the last episode of the first season of Sherlock.
Ah, go for it.
That spoilers for that episode, the title of which I don't remember. But there's this moment where Sherlock has gone to the end of the puzzle, and he's telling Moriarty to reveal himself or something, and John Watson walks out, and you have that moment, that sinking feeling, and it's a great reveal, and it makes you feel things that you're not gonna be able to feel again after the next time you watch it. And that's part of the problem. Because while it's a great reveal, it's a great emotional moment, you can only feel it once. And it's quickly changed back around again. Because Watson wasn't doing this whole thing. It was Moriarty. Watson's just a hostage at this point. Which is its own emotional release sort of thing. But having the entire world change and stay changed, like The Good Place does, feels better.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a trick.
Yeah.
Again, going back to that gift aspect.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just such a well done sort of, not ending because there are 3 more seasons.
Reveal.
Yeah. It's just so good.
Okay.
Just gonna slightly disagree with your take on if a spoiler ruins the story, it makes it a bad story.
Ooh.
Because that's just, or not, or makes you a bad writer. Because like
that was a bit extreme.
Yeah, because there are plenty of stories that you can only really read once. Or read or watch once. And,
I don't like that though.
Oh,
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, maybe the corollary or whatever to this is that, now corollary is my word, is that while you're not a bad writer, if something, your story once spoiled is spoiled, you are also not a bad writer if your story follows predictable tropes.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the argument behind why romance novels are the worst, right?
No, that's not the argument I want to make at all.
I know. So what I'm saying, though, is that that's frequently what people do. If there's no surprises, then it's also not good. It's like, well, that's not true either.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I get you, Al.
Okay. Thank you.
So do you have anything else to comment on, Al?
Well, I guess I'll go into my thing then. Really, what I liked was just that was in this episode, episode specifically, we get flashbacks to from Michael's perspective, and just they're so delicately placed. Like these are kind of like these, like you kind of have this image of the middle management of like heaven, or like the good place and all that, and the way that they frame it is just like kind of in that alien sort of way, and just that like, and then Michael's the good place, which is in quotation marks, and you're like, oh, he's taking a new spin on the concept, and no, he thinks he's being a clever little boy.
And really, who makes French vanilla antimatter? Sorry.
Yeah.
I did also appreciate during that scene how they were purposely being ambiguous as far as which place they were working for and who was the big guy. It's like, well, it's making it so that the flashbacks you're getting aren't lies to the audience.
Nope.
Yes. Yeah, you weren't getting any lies. You were never lied to in that way as an audience member. What you were is you were a victim of your own assumptions.
Yep.
Which was cool.
And like just that level of commitment. And I want to be able to like to do something like that where it's like, where at that point it was being obvious but not.
It's like they were telling us every single moment.
Right? And just being able to do that is something that I want to be able to do. But but that is something that requires building, just building that kind of, just having those, building blocks, and seeing how Michael works. And okay, the entire afterlife is kind of cold corporate setup. And so that, what's the word I'm looking for? Primes your mind. It primes you to accept that when you see Michael's flashbacks. I'm done. Sorry.
Cool.
So you like middle management of the afterlife, and showing it.
Yeah, just putting the building blocks and having that those last little battlements of story.
The way Michael's story was revealed.
Yeah.
Just a little bit at a time. That when you look back at it as a whole, you go, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, so that leaves me, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to, much like everybody else, I want to just steal the entire craft and just eat it so that it's mine now. That's the way that works, right?
Yes.
So one of the things that this show does is, as you know, as we've discussed, this entire time they've been in the bad place, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Filled with these small miseries of bad stuff. Filled with, petty disputes, gross things, a house made of clowns, all sorts of stuff, right? Yet, we are compelled to watch it. And we believe that this is a good thing. Okay? One way or another, the whole reveal depends on us, even though this place is clearly filled and has errors because Eleanor's there. And then so is Jason. They're both there by mistake, etc. and so forth. We are still totally certain that this is the good place and that we're down for watching this. I would like you to compare and contrast to the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Not where I thought this was going?
Haha! Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Had a season worth of, it was ostensibly this was before Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And it was ostensibly the adventures of the Men in Black of the Marvel Universe. And there was a lot of speculation ahead of time of what it would be like. Was it going to be an office comedy? Stuff like that, which I personally would have loved, or a Below Decks kind of story.
I believe we had that, discussion.
Yeah. But I actually found myself, I stopped watching it in the first season. Because as I'm watching it, I'm these are supposed to be the good guys. This is supposed to be, helping our superheroes and so forth. And I kind of find them sort of fascist. Not liking it, not enjoying this. I don't feel like I want to root for these people. And then Captain America, the Winter Soldier came out, and it was revealed that, the reason they're all kind of fascist is not bad writing, but because literally they're all Hydra. And that was a great, it was an okay review. I was okay with it in the movie. In the show, it was amazing. Apparently, because it was the show was supposed to be contemporaneous to the events of the film. And so, basically, the next I think it opened up on, the movie opened up on a Wednesday, and then, that Friday was an episode, or something like that. And in the show, suddenly, all of the Hydra, bad guys were turncoats. It turned out everybody was spying on one another, and it was, wild. And that's great. But, speaking as a consumer, it's a problem that I didn't want to hang out with these people long enough to get to that moment. So, I'm not really sure what the secret sauce is here. And I would love, some thoughts from the peanut gallery. But I want to learn and then steal how to have a morally question. I'm not even sure how to phrase this properly, but do you guys see what I mean in terms of the difference here? The similarities and the difference?
Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm. I think it had to do with the subject matter, because who wants to watch people being kind of fascist?
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you what I think
Go
it
for
is.
it.
At the core of season 1 of The Good Place, the reason why you don't mind following along this bad person is that it is essentially a redemption story.
Oh.
And one thing, and you start off knowing Eleanor is a garbage fire of a person. But you know the predicament she's in. We, as the audience, don't want to see her go to the bad place. We want to see a moral redemption arc happen.
And we hope that...
And all this stuff happens.
And we hope that if we were in a similar position, that...
someone would help us.
Yeah.
I think what I didn't like about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to begin with was the fact that I had gone in there with the assumption that these were good people. And then watching them not be good people and then not being reassured about it made me question, like, well, why am I bothering watching this?
I think it would have been turned around if they had maybe waited to release Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. until after Captain America Winter Soldier happened and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started 6 months before Captain America started, chronologically. So we all are watching and we're like, oh shit, who's the Hydra agent? Who's it? And then, oh, it's everyone.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Pippin's, you can't feel that way again moment from Sherlock, it had that feeling in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I'm not sure you would have gotten if you did yours.
Perhaps.
But is it worth losing an audience to get to that?
I think the thing about The Good Place is that we do know that something is up. Mm-hmm. It's just that we think that the thing that's up is Eleanor is meant to be in the bad place. So we know that something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we assume that that's the thing.
That we assume that what we've been told is wrong is the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and with Sherlock, we didn't have the knowledge that there was something up in general. Just suddenly this thing happened.
It's a sleight of hand thing. It's sleight of hand. It's like magic. It's that there's a magic trick somewhere. And so that's when the magician does a bit of distraction. And so while you're looking at the flashing thing over here, the trick is going on over there. And so the flashing thing in The Good Place was Eleanor, while they did the actual sleight of hand over here. Whereas in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Sherlock, we were not told that there was a magic trick.
And
instead we just sort of got slapped in the face.
Yeah.
We thought we were watching Hamlet, damn it.
Well, instead we just got a flashbang, an unexpected flashbang, and someone being like, and here's a quarter from your ear. It's like, what?
Illusions.
And now Ophelia's dead.
Illusions.
By the way, Pip.
Yes?
Is there an AU where that reveal actually paid off? For Sherlock? In Sherlock?
Oh, probably.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, if I do a search for evil John Watson right now.
But yeah, Captain America Civil War came out April 4th, 2014. And the last episode of season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's revealed that there's Hydra, called The Beginning of the End. Its original air date was May 13th. So a couple weeks later.
So it gave enough time for people to actually watch.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think there was a break or something. Like, it was definitely the next episode after...
Mid-season sweeps, yeah.
The previous episode was May 6th.
All right, fine. Then I'm a liar.
Wait, by the way, was it, the entirety of the cast? Or was it just, one of them? Oh, man, and Fitzsimmons are still lovely. He puddle.
I'm sorry,
Ward was evil the whole time.
Warren was... Wait, Warren?
Ward.
Oh, I was about to say, his name's not Warren, but...
Just FYI, sorry, I should have preceded that with a spoiler warning, but shockingly enough, the pretty white dude was evil.
And even more shockingly, bunch of people on the internet want to redeem him.
Just let evil things be evil.
But it was turning out that a bunch of people were all, spying on one another. There was a lot of gray activity.
Yeah. I love a good redemption story. But we also need to sometimes teach that maybe your actions have consequences.
I just don't want redemption for Nazis. I'm sorry. If you're and I'm gonna say, if you're a fucking Nazi, you lost your job, I don't care.
Woo! Alright.
And forking.
Was that all of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, snap.
So you know what time it is.
It's game time!
Time for a game!
Alright. What game are we playing?
Let's take a look at the list.
I'm just channeling a little bit too much Justin McElroy here. I'm sorry. So guys, I have a suggestion of a game to play.
Alright.
Go ahead.
What's your suggestion?
Let's play Explode All the Things. Where we take a good plot, which I think we've agreed that this is a good plot.
It's the good plot.
And it's the good
wow,
plot.
no. Go to the corner, think about what you've done.
And we're gonna change something or add something and make it terrible.
Guys, this makes it the bad plot.
Oh my god.
We've been in the bad plot this entire time.
I can't believe any of you people. How
I have
dare
no
you?
regrets.
You
Well,
should.
we're here to torture you, Pippin.
Yeah.
And vice
Yeah,
versa.
we're torturing each
That's
other.
what I wanted my intro to be, but I knew it couldn't.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, we're all just here to torture one another.
And that is family. Oh, I know how to make it worse.
Damn it. Okay.
Go for it.
They're family.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that does make it worse.
Secret siblings.
I'm not even necessarily saying secret siblings.
Just like a whole family accident. They all died at the same time, like a car wreck.
Like a Narnia sort of situation.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, I turned this into Narnia.
You turned it into Narnia, Pippin.
Way to go.
And also you spoiled Narnia. Good job.
Yeah, wow.
Listen,
Spoiling everything tonight.
Okay.
listen, we managed to not spoil the one thing at the beginning, and then we made no promises from there.
Well, it's their fault for not checking the show notes.
Yeah, that's it. Blame the listeners.
Yes.
That'll get us points.
That'll get them on our side.
Also, while I'm here, while I'm spoiling Narnia, it is bullshit that Susan doesn't get to go.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Fuck that noise. And I say that with pride.
And that is the official stance of No Story is Sacred. The boys don't get an opinion.
No, I agree.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And I don't remember.
Susan doesn't get to go back to Narnia because she,
Likes
found
lipstick.
makeup. Likes lipstick and boys.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. She wasn't queen of Narnia or anything. Anyway.
Pull it back. How do you make it worse, Pippin? Wait.
They're related.
Okay,
no,
they're related.
They're family.
Why does that make it worse?
Because when you're here, you're family.
Oh.
Listen, there are good family plots. Schitt's Creek, great show about family.
I knew it. I knew it.
Fight me. We will fight right now. But yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that it could work. But the way the dynamics are set up, the fact that they're supposed to torture each other without knowing that they're torturing each other.
Oh yeah, no, I'd knowingly torture you guys.
I do it in the good place.
Yeah, the dynamic shifts in such a way. There's already baseline goodwill, theoretically. Mm-hmm. So when it comes from the choice of, who do you sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
Do you help this one person who shouldn't even be there, or do you turn them in for the betterment of the community? You don't do family like that. So it's easier to keep those lies and not worry as much. Mm-hmm. So it just changes the whole dynamic. And what do you do with the soulmate thing?
Ooh. Well, that means automatically all the soulmates are going to be demons.
Yeah.
And what do you do about, let's assume this is a nuclear family. What do you do about the parents?
Yeah.
Do they both get
no.
soulmates?
That's awkward.
To be fair,
Not how you wanna
that might
find
be
that
really
out.
entertaining, to be fair.
It's like, I'm here and who the hell is that?
Well, this is your soulmate, but I'm
Sorry, but
already...
the soulmate is Cheaty.
Oh man, Cheetah would get a stomachache so fast.
Oh, poor Cheaty.
He would spend the entire, no. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's how I ruin it.
Okay.
I'll go. I get rid of Janet.
How dare you?
We're exploding it. We're exploding it. Janet's my favorite character.
That's because she's amazing.
She is.
And also,
And if you got rid of her, the show sucks. No.
well, also, she is what is supposed to be a trustworthy character for the audience. Mm-hmm. We know her limitations. We know what she is. And so
She's not a robot.
She's not a robot. She's not a girl. She is my non-binary darling. But she is another way that we are brought into the illusion.
Yeah.
And she's just awesome. But if she's not there, a lot of the charm completely goes away.
Yeah. And she's also necessary to the end gambit that brings them into season 2.
Yes.
You'll never guess she continues to be awesome. Didn't she win didn't the
course.
actress win an Emmy or something like that for one of her later season episodes? Brendan, without spoiling too much, the actress ends up playing all of the other characters. And she does an amazing job. And there is exactly one shot where we see her making out with herself, and it's amazing. And I have no regrets.
So yeah, that is how I'd explode all the things in the good places. Just get rid of Janet. Boom. It makes me feel bad.
I mean, that's the goal. Like, if you say it and you immediately feel dirty.
Oh, I feel bad for Jason now. He found his robot girl.
Not a girl.
Not a robot.
Not a girl.
Not a girl.
All right, who's next?
Oh wait, Brendan, that means you haven't seen the cactus yet.
No more explanation than that.
Nope, you don't get to know anything else. It's too perfect a joke.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, when do you go?
I mean, okay, so I feel like I always tend to go to this well, but,
Is it the well I cry?
it's,
Don't fix it.
it's, adding animals.
Ugh.
I mean, there are animals, but they're fake animals, as it were. They're good place animals that are just, yeah.
Cat. All dogs go to the good place.
Okay, but here's the thing. Yes, if there were dogs, that would of course be proof, obviously, that this was the good place. However, then, when it's revealed that it's the bad place, are those bad dogs? Brendan?
They're
Are
robots.
you saying that they're bad dogs?
Or wait,
They're not real dogs.
are they hellhounds?
Oh, puppies!
Wow. And now we know how Brendan spends eternity.
Puppies!
I mean, I just, like, are the dogs gonna wander around being assholes? Like, I think it's too obvious a thing. Although, I mean, having just a gigantic box full of kittens?
A box full of puppies.
I need to tell everyone that Darcy Corden, who plays Janet, has never been nominated for an Emmy.
What?
She was not nominated this year.
What? But
Scandal.
I thought for sure she won something. Wait, did she win the Hugo?
The Good Place won the Hugo Award for short form presentation, and I think she recorded the acceptance. I haven't actually gone back to watch it.
Listen, all I know is that episode was listed as was something. Maybe that was one of the examples that they sent in. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know. I feel like adding animals is one, something I do all the time, but also isn't a perfect, this is awful. I don't think it ruins it completely. I think that maybe I would ruin it completely by, I got one. Sorry. Animal one, it's not good enough. You know how, Bren, you loved so much that was so non-denominational? Mm-hmm. Nope.
Oh no.
I want to lean in. I want Michael to be wandering around with wings. I want there to be harps. I want there to be too many clouds.
Ew.
Like, everybody's wearing a toga. Like, that's very leaned in. We have Jesus jokes. Jesus wanders around in the background.
Oh.
Hey, who wants some wine coolers? Pew,
Yeah,
pew, pew.
no, a lot of that. Like, a lot. Not charmingly Catholic, just really annoying Christian.
Oh, so like it's Good Place as if made by Pureflix?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Because part of what makes the Good Place work is that many people have some sort of afterlife idea, and this doesn't really touch on any of them. It's just a nice thought, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, whereas if you lean into it really a lot, first of all, it's going to be offensive to any number of people. Not just the people for whom it would not apply, but a strong majority of the people for whom it theoretically would apply. Like, there's just no way that would be fun. There, now I've ruined it.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, Al, take us home.
Right. How do I explode this?
It's a tough one.
It is. Especially since you did two.
Oh god, I'm sorry.
No. No, I wasn't actually going to think of that, so...
I just thought of a bad one. Sorry. Do you mind if I just quickly say it? Instead of Michael being played by
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson.
It's Mel Gibson.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson cannot get it.
I feel dirty.
Oh, I do love Ted Danson though.
They're all dudes.
What? Oh no, like, oh, ew.
It's a whole-on entourage.
Entourage.
Gross. But also, like, Eleanor's the main character. Like, it's so great that we have just a morally bankrupt female main character.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a bunch of dudes, I'm like, I can go outside for that. Oh,
this is the bad place.
It's like, no fucking shit.
Bro, I think this might be the bad place, bro.
Bro,
but...
Oh god.
all the shrimp. But bro, you stole that shrimp. And then they're flying shrimp. It's a bad place. Bro.
Dude.
Bro.
Alternatively.
The bro place.
Just have these awkward cameos from people from history. Like fucking...
Ew.
Right?
Oh, I don't like that.
Right? Like fucking...
Ew.
Like, because...
Oh, no.
Like, Michael and Tahani name drop, like, all the time. But, like, having, like, I don't know, like, Leonardo da Vinci, like, coming over to borrow a cup of sugar.
Oh, God, because everything in his... Because the good place, everybody's in the good... And, ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the other implication. What if they're the real historical figures, and then it's implying that, like, certain famous people are in the bad place?
Oh,
I mean,
we can make some educated guesses about a lot of them.
Christopher Columbus is in the bad place.
They also say, like, you know, a lot of these people are definitely in the bad place.
But I think that would have been a clue as well. So if you stuck, like, Beethoven in there, we'd be like, wait a second. That motherfucker doesn't belong in heaven.
He did some really strange stuff.
But yeah, I think at one point Michael says that every American president except for Lincoln is in the bad place.
And you know that Lincoln and did some,
You know, Lincoln was freaky.
Yeah, but he got a lot of points for emancipation.
Ending slavery. Oh my god, that's one of the things that was in that list. End slavery. 814,292.09 points.
Huh, nice.
Right there in the thing.
Okay. So, do we have any other thoughts about the good place? I guess I'll continue watching.
Yeah.
It's a real good show.
Super good.
Worth the price of admission.
Wouldn't you say?
Kat, I believe it's your turn to lead us out.
Well,
of the good place.
But I want to stay in the good place.
This isn't the good place.
Oh God, you're right.
This is a bad place.
And on that note, as always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostoryissacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoryissacred, or send an email through contact@nostoryissacred.com. And by prompts, we do mean if you want to hear us talk about something, and it could be kind of ridiculous, send it on through. We would really love to have other people try to trip us up. Your hosts have been Alex McDonald, Brendan McDonald, Pippin McDonald, and Catherine Crichton. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoryissacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story is Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoryissacred. See you next time when we talk about Brendan's original story idea for a D&D adventure, Escape from Flavortown. Until then, we're No Story is Sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Kat.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Pippin.
And I'm Alex.
And we're No Story is Sacred.